So the aim of this test is to compare these two motors on these two bikes with each other. I've got myself here a bit of a hill, which is fairly steep, bit of an effort to walk up. I've got the Bosch Performance CX Gen 4 here with a smart system, so the latest system, and I've got the EP8, which is the latest available Shimano system on the market. Both have mullet set up, both have similar amounts of travel, both weigh about the same. The Bosch has 85 Newton meters of torque, takes you up to a limit of 25 kilometers an hour in Europe, 20 miles an hour in America. They've got a similar gear system on them. The motor on this weighs 2.8 kilos, 6.4 pounds. So that's the Bosch system. Okay, the Shimano system, an 85 Newton meter motor. It weighs 2.6 kilos, so the motor is actually slightly lighter. Speed limit is the same, 25 kilometers an hour in Europe, 20 miles an hour in America. The power is the same. In this case, they're both 250 watts, and they've both got about 600 miles on them. Both motors can be tuned, so I've tuned them a maximum assist in both motors. That's the setup. It's fairly simple. Let's have a quick look at the course. So the course here is about 100 yards or 100 meters up to there at the end of the vines there. My legs are fresh. Well, we just want to see how fast we can get up the hill. Everyone's always asking me which is the best motor. There are many motors on the market, so I thought, well, this would be a good start to a good series of comparing motors against each other. All three cameras are recording. We're going to start with the Shimano. So this is the Shimano. It's a very grippy surface. It's not wet, it's not muddy. 3, 2, 1. So his motor feels giving it my all, sprinting up the hill. I've reached the 20 miles an hour on the limit. Ooh. So let's now park this bike and go and get the other bike. I don't know the time, I'll look at it later. And here comes the big comparison. Are we ready to roll with this one now? 3, 2, 1, go. Interestingly, I'm up on the pedals. Again. Whew. That time I managed 21. Now I want to do it again, just to be sure. 2, 1. Deeper, I got nightmares in my head. Okay, 2, 1. Up until I can't hear that my mind feels. I don't think it's point doing it too many times because my legs will start to give out. It won't be an accurate measurement. So how did it feel? Well, to me, the Bosch felt more powerful. Now I was only going 20 kilometers an hour, touching 21 on the canyon. On the Bosch, I was 21.5, touching 22. And I think we'll see that in the times, which we'll check out in a minute. Okay, so let's come to a conclusion now. I'm back inside, I've finished reviewing the footage. For what I understand, the timing on the first run, I did it on the Shimano in 20.2 seconds. On the second run, 19.5. The Bosch, 18 seconds on the first run, 19 seconds on the second run. What I can see then is there's a difference between over about 100 yards or 100 meters of about 1 second. It's not a huge difference, but it's notable enough. I think in reality, it doesn't mean one motor is vastly better than the other. So I did notice that the Bosch has more of a solid feeling. And I would say that that extra power, it's not real power, it's more like let's call it, it has a broader power band. The tuning of the motor and the overrun of the motor is, shall we say, wider. So the Shimano motor definitely feels softer, but at the same time, it's not vastly far behind the Bosch when it comes to actually the time over the course, like 1 second. I mean, if you're racing, okay, you might notice that, but if you're not racing, you're not going to notice it really. And at the end of the day, the power delivery on the Shimano is definitely softer and has that sort of subtle slightly narrower power band, let's say. So the motor doesn't have such a long overrun on each pedal stroke. At the same time, when standing on the pedals, the Shimano motor definitely feels a more natural feeling. But what I did notice is the Bosch has a better low down torque. And you can see that as I felt it was faster off the start and faster to accelerate. And I think that low down torque is particularly useful on very steep or loose or difficult places to ride uphill. If you're trying to choose between the two motors and therefore influence your bike choice, I would say it's a pretty hard decision to make. But if you're somebody who really likes out and out power, immediacy, you're going to ride a lot of steep stuff uphill, then I would probably go towards the Bosch. If, on the other hand, you're using your electric bike more for training, for sort of more of a, let's say, sport type feeling and sport type riding, then I think the Shimano might be more your style of motor, because it's got that natural sensation which mimics a normal mountain bike. At some point in the future, we're going to be comparing other motors together. Don't forget to like the video and leave a comment below, and also hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.